Hello, this is Robert Hillier, and this is the second video where I'm talking about how I've teamed up with a psychic so that we bring the psychology, the skills of psychology, together with the energy or the psychic energy. And so far we're getting outstanding results, which we're both pretty impressed with. Because bringing these two things together, it certainly makes the psychology more powerful, and it makes the psychic energy more powerful as well. In the last video, I really come to terms with, talked about why we're doing this. We're doing this because we're passionate about it. We're doing it because we just like to be more effective than what we've ever been before. And we're doing it because we're finding that we can achieve more with less. We're getting better results than we've ever got before, and in less time. So it's, there's stronger results with less time and less expense. So that to me is a very powerful formula. Now, we're not the only ones that are working with the psychic energy, because we know there's plenty of psychics around the world, all over the place, and they're now very well accepted, an accepted part of our community. But there's also a lot of professionals been using psychics for quite some time, or been using this energy for some time, not necessarily psychics. And the first one that comes to mind is a guy called Dr. Brian Weiss. And Dr. Brian Weiss was a psychiatrist in America. And he would hypnotize people so they'd go back, they'd access their past lives, and then they start resolving themselves on their past lives. And he got very good results. And he said about 2/3 of the people really got it, were able to sort of be hypnotized in such a way that they could get into their past lives. Another guy, Dr. Michael Newton, he was slightly different, and he would hypnotize people so they could go back to see the life between lives. And what they would be doing was sorting out how, when they'd be in a place, and it's quite consistent. It's a very good book to read. They consistently find that they'd be in a place where they'd make certain agreements before they came onto the planet. And then there's another lady called Sylvia Brown, and Sylvia Brown, she's highly respected, gets referred to by a lot of people in the medical profession in the States. But what she does differently is when she goes into past lives, she then has a team of people who goes and researches and finds what those past lives were, and so she can validate her work that way. And on the lesser scale, there was another guy called, not a lesser scale, but Buckminster Fuller spent all his life proving beyond any statistical doubt whatsoever that there was a thing called the Great Spirit. Well, what he called the Great Spirit, but that energy was there, and that was a guiding energy in his life. He had a very successful life in the end. Very, very, very intelligent man. And in another video, I'm going to tell my favourite story. I don't want to do it in this video, but I'll tell my favourite story about how I once beat the odds of 106 billion. That's billion, B 106 billion to 1. That's a really good story, and that's happened a long time ago, and boy, I've never ever forgotten it. But so there's people been doing it. What we do differently is we're not using hypnosis. We don't use hypnosis. What we do is we give a psychic reading. You get a reading. It could be past lives, not always, but a lot of it's been past lives. But there's also some people that don't need the past lives. What happens is you get the exact, specific, and precise information that you need, not necessarily that you want. And the way it works because of technology. Wonderful technology it is. I'm not taking it for granted yet, but just using our phones, we just do a group call, a group conference, and I usually do it. I'll call Maureen when she gets to the line, then I'll call the client, they get the line, merge the two, and then Maureen gives the client the reading, and I just badly take the notes. We need at least half an hour so Maureen can get connected, and when she gets connected, she gives her information, and I take the notes, and away we go. We just take it from there. Maureen's in Tasmania. I'm in Melbourne, and the client could be anywhere in the world. The last one we did was in West Australia. So it just works pretty well. And what we're doing all the time with that information, with the information we get from the psychic information, if you like, from the guides, because what happens is Maureen, her guides, and your higher self, or her higher self and your higher self, whatever you like to call it, doesn't matter. They sort of communicate with one another, and Maureen becomes the channel, or not the channel. She just then tells you exactly what it is, very, very accurately, very, very specifically, and very exactly. Once we have that information, then we start to implement that information into life. And because we're going to the exact, specific, and precise place we need, it's not even close. It isn't spot on. Absolutely nail it. Right on. And what we do is we go into the primary root cause, and so sometimes that primary root cause is not in this lifetime. The issues you've got can have a primary root cause going way back many, many lifetimes. And because you can't move on from anything until you resolve it. And just because you pass on or leave your body, move out of your body, doesn't mean that the issue's gone. Unless you resolve it, it's going to stay with you, and can stay with you life after life after life. That's what we're finding. That's what we're finding. Very, very exciting stuff for us. So that's probably about enough for now, because otherwise I'll start to bore you, because I can go on about this forever. But so we're obviously passionate. We're passionate because we're getting more out of it than we've got out of before. We're taking people to a greater place than we've ever been able to take them, and we're getting better results than we've ever got. So why wouldn't we be passionate? Why wouldn't we want to do more of this? We're loving it, and we just love the work, and we're quite very committed to it. And this is not a fly-by-night thing. This is a very powerful tool. This is probably the most powerful tool I've ever come across. And I didn't find it, it found me. And I'll tell you that story tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and talk to you soon. Thank you.